Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Convert to Islam Story channel. In this channel, we will be sharing inspiring stories of people who have found their way to Islam and embraced it as their way of life. Today, we will be sharing the amazing story of Mike, who later changed his name to Omar Sayeed ibn Mak, a former Islamophobe who became a prominent Muslim figure in his community. From having negative views towards Islam to becoming a dedicated dawah activist, his journey is truly inspiring and a testament to the transformative power of Islam.
I get a knock at the door, and here two guys in a suit. I'm from the FBI. The first thing I have to say is, what took you guys so long? I told them the truth. I was going to make my own IED, and I was going to set across the Islamic Center over in a bank's parking lot, and I was going to dial it in and just watch the show.
So sit back, relax, and let's dive into his incredible story.
Before that, please subscribe and turn on the notification to receive updates on other inspiring stories.
A former U.S. Marine named Richard McKinney, who has now converted to Islam, once felt hatred towards Islam and even planned to bomb a mosque. However, his heart softened because of something that changed his mind. Hatred can make someone blind and irrational. That's what Mike, McKinney's nickname, once felt. He admitted that he used to have so much hatred towards Islam because of his misunderstanding of its teachings. He thought that Islam was a religion that taught terrorism. Perhaps many people in the United States believe this stereotype because of inaccurate news, especially after the 9/11 attacks. However, Mike himself not only became an observer from a distance, but he also had thoughts and plans to hurt Muslims. However, after studying Islam more deeply, his heart changed. He realized that Islam is actually a religion that teaches love and peace. He also realized that his plan to damage the mosque would have a negative impact on many innocent people. Since then, Mike decided to embrace guidance and accept Islam as his own religion. While still active in the military, Mike was sent to Middle Eastern countries, including Syria. There, he witnessed Muslim people who were at war, and many of them hated the West. His nationalism became stronger, and quickly, Mike concluded that Muslims were the enemy, the other. He felt that they were a threat to the order and peace of the Western world, especially America. After 25 years of service in the military, Mike retired and returned to civilian life in 2006. He felt that America needed to be protected from these enemy immigrants. For him, Muslim people were not part of the American identity and needed to be expelled. When he heard that the Muslim community in Indiana planned to establish a mosque in the small town of Muncie, where he lived, Mike was very disturbed. For him, this indicated that Muslims were starting to encroach into his neighborhood. However, Indiana is also home to more than 6 million Muslims who need a place to worship. Therefore, the existence of a mosque is very important for them. After several months, the Muncie Islamic Center was finally opened to the public. However, Mike, who was a supporter of Islamophobia, was very angry. In his view, the local government was powerless in the face of pressure from Muslim lobbies. For several years, Mike participated in various protest actions against the establishment of the Islamic Center in Muncie. The campaign was not only carried out on the streets, but also through social media. Despite expressing hatred in his actions, Mike never considered resorting to physical violence. In 2009, Richard Mike McKinney, an Islamophobic supporter, decided to blow up the Islamic Center of Muncie with an improvised explosive device, IED, he had brought from his home.
I was angry. I was just full of hate, and it just fed off itself. At that point, I was drinking a half-gallon of vodka every 2 days. I had devised a plan, create my own IED, homemade bomb, and I was going to set it off right outside the Muncie Islamic Center.
He was very angry when the Islamic Center was open to the public, feeling that the city government was unable to resist the Muslim lobby. Previously, his daughter, Emily, had told him about her visit to her Muslim friend's house. Although Emily said they were kind and friendly to her, Mike was worried that his daughter would be influenced and even become a Muslim someday. Finally, he decided to attack the Islamic Center of Muncie and kill all the Muslims there. Mike couldn't sleep all night because he was worried about the influence of strangers on his daughter. He felt very anxious and decided to make a well-prepared homemade bomb. When he arrived at the mosque, the Muslim place of worship was crowded with some worshippers still inside after performing Friday prayers. Mike got out of his car wearing a thick coat and a headband, ready to carry out his attack. When entering the Islamic Center building, Mike was surprised because he did not find what he had imagined before. There were no anti-America banners or support for Al-Qaeda. He felt strange and a little nervous being the only non-Muslim there. However, a worshipper politely approached him and asked if he could help. For a moment, Mike remembered his daughter's words that every person is not born with prejudice, racism, or hatred. Therefore, he decided not to throw the bomb he made into the mosque. Mike hesitated when the worshippers offered help. "I came here to learn about Islam," he said. However, that moment was the starting point of his awareness. Mike was invited to sit and wait, and then a Dai joined him to talk about Islam. At first, the former soldier believed that Islam was related to terrorism and extremism, but the Dai patiently listened and then explained the basics of Islam, such as the Quran, the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, the pillars of faith and the pillars of Islam, as well as the concept of ihsan. The Dai also conveyed the message of the Prophet Muhammad about the importance of having good manners. After listening to the explanation, everything became clear to Mike and he decided to say the 2 declarations of faith and became a Muslim.
So I went to the Islamic Center, see a gentleman in the shoe room taking off his shoes. He looks at me and he smiles. He said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I want you to teach me about Islam." So he went and he gave me a Quran. "Read this. Come back when you have questions." So I did. And I would see things in the book. I'd be like, "There it is. I got him right there. Explain that to me." And they would. This was a kind of awakening. Long story short, 8 weeks after that first day I stepped into the Islamic Center, I became a Muslim.
Many people or groups commit violence and terrorism in the name of religion. However, their actions actually contradict the teachings of the religion itself. This is due to their lack of knowledge about Islam. After embracing Islam, Mike decided to change his name to Omar Sayeed ibn Mak, inspired by Umar bin Khattab, a companion of the Prophet Muhammad. Like Al-Faruq, Omar Sayeed had a significant moment in his life where he found the light of truth even though he used to hate Islam. He decided to study religion earnestly, realizing that the purpose of human life is to worship Allah and practice it in everyday life. With the support of the Muslim community in Indiana, Omar Sayeed learned a lot about Islam. He can even read the Quran by himself, something he couldn't do before, and only enjoyed the recitation of verses by the Imam. For him, the Quran is a powerful medicine to heal the soul. Now, he recites the Quran regularly every morning and before Isha prayer, a routine that he never imagined before when he still held negative views towards Islam. Mike, now known as Omar Sayeed, has become an active preacher in the Muncie community. He participates in various Islamic missionary activities, including the Open Mosque event, which is aimed at introducing Islam to people of all religions. He believes that dialogue and openness are the keys to eliminating doubts and stigmas associated with Islam. Mike was once the president of the Muslim Student Association at Ball State University and currently serves as the president of the Islamic Center of Muncie.
Join me in welcoming Mr. McKinney.
My big thing is now to stop the hate.
Nothing good has ever come out of hatred.
I've done too many things. I've hurt a lot of people.
This is a stark contrast to his previous malicious intent to attack the Islamic Center with a bomb. Now he is a leader in the institution. Recently, Omar Sayeed participated in a documentary film project entitled Stranger at the Gate. He told his personal experience of how he became a Muslim. Omar is also active in various podcasts. Omar Sayeed emphasizes the importance of diversity and respecting differences in America. According to him, Islamophobia should not occur in this country. He also urges the Muslim community to continue strengthening social relations and weaving unity. In the past, I had a lot of prejudice against people who were different, including Muslims. That's because I didn't know them well and didn't understand the teachings of Islam, he said, giving a message to the younger generation. That's the inspiring story of Mike, or now known as Omar Sayeed, who chose Islam as his way of life. From Islamophobia to becoming a preacher, his journey proves that awareness and proper knowledge can lead someone to the truth. Let us learn from his experience and embrace diversity, respect differences, and promote unity. If you find this story inspiring, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.